We cannot have a kingdom without the right king. And I think if you're new to church, you hear people talk about kingdom of heaven, kingdom of God. You're like, okay, what are you talking about kingdom? Are we creating a new country? Is this like, are we going to have new borders? I don't get that. And really, I'm kind of simplify something for the sake of explanation, but it's much deeper and richer if you discover it. But for those of you who maybe are unfamiliar with this, I actually kind of want to catch you up a little bit. And so I've taken a stab at defining it in the most simplest of terms. And a kingdom is simply this. It's a kingdom where I would say is a group of people ruled by a king that share behaviors and beliefs established by that king. So a kingdom has a ruler, and then it also has beliefs and behaviors established by the king. And you have to understand that a kingdom is not a democracy where you vote on what you believe in. It's a kingdom where the king establishes the rule. This is the way we will behave. This is what we will believe. This is how we will operate and act within that kingdom. And for Americans, we hate this idea. It's extremely abrasive. I don't want anything to do with that. But the problem is, especially in our society, is we want kingdom things. We just don't want the king. So we want a kingdom of peace, right? But we just want to define what peace is to us. And we want a kingdom of justice, but we want to define justice according to our own terms. We want a kingdom of prosperity. Who doesn't want a kingdom of prosperity? But we want to define what that means for ourselves. We want a kingdom of love, but we want to be able to define those things for ourselves. And the problem is everybody has their own opinion, so therefore everybody has their own kingdom. And the real kingdom of heaven, right? Because God said in the New Testament, right, he wants to create a kingdom of heaven on earth, like bringing heaven down to earth. Well, in order to bring heaven down to earth, we have to accept the king of heaven. And so here's what I want you to think about, and this is why, here's the deal. This is why our world will always feel divided. This is why our world will always feel separated no matter how much progress we think we're making, because we are all trying to establish kingdoms of our own. When here's the deal. Here's the real simple thing I want you to catch is this. The world will never have the right kingdom unless it has the right king. The right king. Now, here's what you're saying, especially those who are not a part of church, or maybe you don't grasp this, which I totally understand, is you don't like the idea of a king because a king in your mind is everything you see in the movies, read about in history books, a king who is selfish, has his own agendas, doesn't care about the daily lives of his subjects. You think a king is egotistical. You think a king is ruthless. A king is evil, because that's what we see, right? We see movies about the mad king, selfish king, tyrant king, right? And so we associate this thing of, well, I don't want a king like that. But can I tell you, the king of heaven is not the king of Hollywood. Right? The king of heaven is not the king of your history books. The king of heaven loves you very much, and can I tell you, is personally aware of all the storms, struggles, pains, difficulties going on in your life. The king is aware of the injustices. The king is aware of the anxiety. The king is aware of the struggle. And can I tell you that we serve a king who cares about you?